This is a really easy cool girl weekend look. If you want to know how I got it, watch this. Weekends for me are usually no makeup, give my face a rest and let my hair do what the hell it wants. But when you need to go out, my default makeup is minimal makeup but maximum impact. I've started with my prep, which is the Tatcha eye brightener, which I've been using for about a month and not brightening my eyes, but it's quite moisturising and it's very light and it doesn't actually make my eyes puffy, so I'm going to carry on using it. On the rest of my face I've used some Rhode glazing milk and a little bit of moisturiser. I'm going to use the lightest of light foundations, Very Valentino. If you're a colour match with me, all the products and shades will be listed down below. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a Hailey. I'm going to add a little bit of glazing milk to my foundation. I mean, it's a very light foundation anyway, but this lightens it up even more. And I'm going to start in the centre, as usual. That's where you need most of it, and then just blend it out to the outer edges. If it's good enough for Hailey, it's good enough for me. This is a very, very old Real Techniques stippling brush, and the hairs are sort of uneven at the end. It's quite dense, but it's quite fine at the end. So this I always find really good at just shearing out my makeup. And I'm even going to put this concoction under my eyes. Glow is good, so I'm going to use a little bit of Lisa Eldridge highlighter and just pop that tops of my cheeks. Probably nowhere else, maybe there. Makeup by Mario. This is my double-ended F4. Love this. This is kind of a no makeup. A little bit of Rare Beauty in Happy Soul. This is my bronzer. This is an IT Cosmetics brush, which is really old. It's highlight and define. I like to use the larger brush to blend my bronzer. If you want a little bit more glow, I do go for my Charlotte Tilbury Unreal Skin Glowy Foundation. I find it's a bit too glowy to put all over my face, so I tend to just put a little bit here to just add a bit of brightness. Now for my cheeks, I'm a notorious cocktailer and I love these Rhode blushes. This is Toasted Teddy and it's been out for a while, and these two are from the new spring collection. This is Teacup and this is Candy Apple. That's Teacup, that's Toasted Teddy, and that is Candy Apple. So what I tend to do to get the most natural look is dot on a little bit of Toasted Teddy, which becomes my base. See how easy they blend? They are quite scary when you swatch them. A little bit of Teacup. Don't ask me how I came up with this combination. It's just trial and error depending on your skin tone. And then finally Candy Apple. I always pop a little bit of Candy Apple on my cheeks. This one I don't blend quite so much because I do like the pop of red. I think it makes me look healthy. That's good enough for my cheeks. I have zoomed you in so you can see what I'm doing to my eyes. I'm going to take my Sigma Ambience palette. It's got all of these wonderful natural colours to make up a good, cool weekend look. I'm going to take this colour here and my Real Techniques Duo Fibre brush. Again, it's really old, but it's perfect for laying down your crease colour. Remember, always lay the colour first where you want the most colour and then blend it in. You can hardly see it, but that's the point. This is a My Kitco and an Myrick's brush, and I'm just going to tap a little bit of this colour here on my bottom lash line. And then add some of the very pale colour over the top to blend that in. I'm going to stay with this brush and going to take the deepest colour, this brown, and lay that down on my lash line. Gentle hand, you're not saying here's an eyeliner, you're just trying to deepen your upper lashes. You don't have to have this brush, it's anything that you've got that's fairly firm with a nice tip so that you can put the eyeshadow where you want it, quite precisely. I'm going to be really brave and take this gold colour here on my fingers, and I'm going to put it all over the lid. That's what it looks like. I'm going to go back to my Real Techniques brush and just blend it up into the shadow that we first laid down. Then with a pencil brush, this is a Morphe M383, and I'm going back to the original colour that I used and just pop that in the inner corner to brighten that up. Now you can see my gold eyeshadow clashes rather horribly with my candy apple. So I'm going to tone it down with a little bit more Toasted Teddy. It'll still pop through.
Let's get started.
But that's much more coherent. And I'm also going to add a little bit of the Charlotte Tilbury Unreal Blush. It's supposed to be sort of old-fashioned now to cocktail, but actually, unless you've found your perfect blush for every look you want to do, it's actually quite difficult to find the right colour. With my eyebrows, I'm just going to fill in a couple of gaps that I've got. This is the e.l.f. Ultra Precise Brow Pencil. There, that's enough. Weekend's not the time for bold eyebrows. And then I'm going to take a little bit of my L'Oreal Brow Lamination and I just push my eyebrows up. Mascara next, I'll be back in a second. There we go, eyelashes done. This is my favourite combo du jour. This is the Essence Primer, which I absolutely love. Again, it's been out forever. Love it. L'Oreal's Telescopic, really good drugstore combo. It's always a good idea to just sit back and have a look at what you need when you're trying for this no makeup cool girl look. And I think my eyes are a bit boring. So I'm going to go back into my Morphe palette. I'm going to take something a bit darker for the outer corner and I'm going to take that colour there. I'm going to just apply a bit more definition. See if that's much better than that. Make sure it matches.
Oh, that's real good.
You don't have to do this. I just thought I'd give you all the options. There, I think that's a bit better. There we go, that's a close-up look of where we are so far. I'm actually wearing khaki cargo pants, so I am going to add just a little bit of Hunter Green. This is the Maybelline Tattoo Liner, and it's not quite the same colour as my pants, but it's a really good green. And it'll just add a little bit of je ne sais quoi. Quite often it's the little things that make it all pop off, and I think that's quite good. I've got dry skin, so I'm not actually going to powder. I'll just do a little bit here, just in case, but I don't really get oily. Can you see? I haven't had to add any concealer.
Oh, that's real good.
But I will put a little bit of powder. This is the Huda Beauty Easy Bake in Pound Cake, and I think that's all I need. If you need more, add more. I want a bit more brightness on my inner corners. This is the Rich Glitch palette from Morphe. It's my favourite matte white that I always use. And I think it wakes up every eye. Little bit mascara just to the middle of my bottom lashes. My last stage before lipstick is to pop on always put on some highlighter. I always do anyway. And I prefer powder to cream. And that is the Rare Beauty highlighter in Exhilarate. Now lips, there's so many choices with lips. I'm going to give you 3 options and they all start with Anywhere Caffeine from Makeup Forever. I'm going to outline Cupid's bow. And just a little bit on my bottom lip. I'm going to add some of my Rhode Pretzel Peptide Lip Balm. And that's the most natural of the 3. And that's perfectly fine. Taking that off. And now I'm going to try my Chanel. This is Bohème. It's the Cocoa Rouge Flash. And that's got a hint of red.
Let's get started.
So that's a hint of red. That's another option. Casual, thrown on, not tried too hard. And then if you want to go completely mad, I've got this bright red from the Louis Vuitton collection that caused so much fuss because it was so expensive, but I couldn't resist this red. This is the LV Rouge, their signature rouge, and that sort of orangey kind of suits me. I'm not trying to get you to buy any of these products, like just use whatever you've got. This is me shopping my stash and it's just what I happen to have. I'll drop in some looks of my outfit so you can see what I'm wearing and how it all kind of like fits together, because actually this red fits in, there's a reddish stripe on my handbag. Hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. If you have, please do give me a like and subscribe if you want to see more. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything. And yeah, happy weekend. I will see you soon.